Back with closing trades, right here nifty now 260 points lower for the Nifty futures right now. Most sectors under pressure, other than of course few spots of green when it comes to IT, LTIM, Infosys, Emphasis, Persistent. These are the ones which are actually springing up, and so is Bharti and ITC to be fair, and Bajaj Finance as well is managing to hold on to the green. Don't know for how long though. Coal India, Adani Ports, Power Grid, Adani Enterprises, NTPC, the energy infra pack is the one which is buckling under pressure today, as is SBI, which is down a good 3% almost as we speak right now. In fact, the Nifty Bank, I think, has actually broken that 51K mark as well. Let's just bring up that intraday graph for you. No, not quite. Or I think it did, and then it's recovered from there. Kunal, any reading on the Nifty Bank?
Yeah, this is a very good recovery in the last 15-20 minutes, half an hour or so. We've almost recovered 1,100 points on the Bank Nifty. So from a point where we were almost 1,300 to 1,400 points down, we are just about some 200 to 50 odd points down. That looks like a normal day for the indices. After, of course, what's happened over the last 4-5 days, this could probably be calling for a good recovery as well as maybe a near-term bottom in place for our markets.
And all led by ICICI Bank single-handedly actually, because other than that, most of the large cap banks are still under pressure. ICICI Bank is the one which is pretty much mirroring what you're seeing on the Nifty Bank right now, holding up 1.25%, still I think away from the day's highs, however. Let's welcome on board Daljit Singh as well and talk about what he's making of the market right now. Daljit, hi, afternoon. Lots has happened, at least from last week, and now we're awaiting China's open tomorrow. What's the strategy in the market for both long as well as the short-term players?
Good afternoon. No, I think we are taking this as a positive for the market, mainly because this requirement, this was required. No, a lot of froth was getting built up at various points, and certain stocks where for last many days, in fact, for last 1.5 months or so, we would have met at least 20-30 companies, and everywhere you like the model, but the problem is the valuation. The price itself has gone much ahead of the fundamental. Some places even 2-3 years hence, whatever is the earning coming, that has been discounted yet at present only. So even though you like the company, even though you like the business model, it becomes uninvestable. Now, in that situation, I think it is but natural that a market will realize this kind of anomaly, and there will be some reasons. It can be any factor which will come in, and then that froth will go away. So to that extent, I think this was expected. This is good for the market in the longer run. Maybe some more froth needs to get out in certain other pockets. Good part is that in terms of our portfolio, we were already positioned towards things which were at reasonable valuation. So we have avoided PSUs, railways, defense, those kind of stocks. We don't own in our portfolio for quite some time now. So I think to that extent we are safe. And the pockets where the valuations are reasonable, they still continue. So I don't think there is any change in the fundamentals for those. For example, pharma or agrochemicals or consumption theme. Things on the on-ground reality remains the same. So it is just that the technical factors which are playing at this point of time, and one should be able to utilize those factors in your advantage.
Okay, that's the latest coming in. But look at the markets right now. What a solid recovery which is underway. I mean, take a look at Bank Nifty, almost, kind of nudging towards that flat line as we speak. Even Nifty, for that matter, a very, very sharp bounce back. Almost 2.5% is what it's indicating from the lows of the trading session for Nifty Bank. And even Nifty now moving towards the green line. In fact, Bank Nifty is in the green if I have it right. It's ICICI Bank, which is suddenly shot up 1.5%. Kotak Mahindra Bank, IDFC First Bank, AU Small Finance Bank. These are the ones which are holding out in the green. AU Small Finance Bank was in the green throughout the trading session on account of the Q2 updates being strong, but it's the other names which are actually putting the move on the upside. And clearly ICICI Bank, as Aisha also pointed out, is the star performer which deserves the mention of this big move which is underway. Trent, ITC, as well as Kotak Mahindra Bank, these are some of your other gainers as well. Naresh, a quick view on where the market is headed, and is it fair to say that 24,700 is now a very strong flow for the market?
So early to say it, but first indications have come back in terms of the recovery in Bank Nifty today. So if we sustain this for a couple of sessions, that indicates a short-term bottom could be in place. And more importantly, the selling has been more concentrated in the heavyweight. So if you look at Reliance Industries, for example, the stock is back to election day lows of 2730. That's the price point where Nifty was around 21,500. So we've seen the heavier the weight in the index, sharper has been the correction, whether it is a Reliance or an ICICI HDFC Bank. So clearly suggests it's a flow-based move, and it should find its floor in the next coming couple of sessions, given that China opens tomorrow. But overall, the structure is getting into oversold zone. So 24,700, 800 is the previous swing low, and 24,200, 24,000 is the major swing low of August. But a lot of stocks have come closer to 24,000 price point in terms of after the correction. Reliance is down 13 to 15% from the top. So that tells you how deep the correction has been in stock specific names.
That's the market mood right now. But Diljit, wanted your sense regarding a couple of these so-called new age tech companies, and I'm talking about Ola, Paytm, Zomato of the world. You have on one hand the Ola founder engaging in a war of words over the social media platforms, while on the other you had Dipinder Goyal making deliveries with his colleagues as well. And Paytm today is down almost 6-7% in the trading session. What within some of these names would you like to bet on?
So as a disclosure, as of now, we don't own any of these names. But I think some of these guys have started showing some path to profitability. Market was under a lot of stress earlier because there was no clarity on when will they reach that profitable growth. So growth and addressable market, we all know that is a very well documented thing now. Everybody understands, yes, there is a lot of potential. But unless you make money, the minority shareholder don't get anything. Now, I think some of these companies have started showing that that they are cognizant of this requirement, and they have started taking some action on that. Maybe some more time one needs to give. Within this space, I think the fintech guys, especially the ones which are more inclined towards insurance, etc., we tend to prefer them versus the other ones. But as of now, we are still in the evaluation stage. We are not holding any of these stocks.
That's the take coming in from the new age companies there. In the meantime, while of course the rally is led by ICICI Bank right now, but take a look at Axis as well. Kotak too, by the way, has now jumped back into the green, and Axis as well is making quite a bit of attempt. A 1% uptick, or rather downtick, is now just what you're sitting on. But can't say the same about some of the other spaces like power, telecom, infrastructure. These are the names which are getting fairly beaten down right now. Daljit, wherever the market does recover from this, and the liquidity does settle with China, which are the pockets you don't think will come back to their heydays? Any sectors which you would say avoid right now because they've seen their best already?
So all the sectors that last 1.5, 2 years, they were in vogue. We talked about like PSUs in general, maybe the stocks in defense sector, the stocks in shipping kind of companies, those kind of companies. I think I don't expect those prices, that peak prices will come back in next many years, maybe. Not that these companies are bad, and not that they will not perform. Financials will come better, but problem is that you have already paid them so much. So if you have already given the valuation which it deserves 2 years or 3 years hence, then there is only one way, which is the time correction. So you have to hold it and wait for that time period. I think those are the sectors. Capital goods, some of the companies, although we are very positive on power and that related space, renewable space, but you have to find stocks within that space which are not that kind of obscenely priced. No, taking a manufacturing company, whether it is in power space or whatever, at 80 time multiple, 100 time multiple, I don't think that will give you any good alpha returns. So those pockets, I think, will not come for a very long time at the same peak prices.
You also believe that some of those popular defense names have already seen the peak for this year?
Yeah, I think peak for this year, and they'll take a lot of time to try and recover because even last time we saw many of the PSU stocks, for example, 2022 when the rally started off for many of the PSU names, there was a phase where the correction consolidation lasted for almost 9 months on a trot, and we are just in the third or the fourth month for these stocks to get back into a price correction. Now the worry or the concern for these stocks when they are going through this corrective phase is that the volumes have not inched up higher. So typically when you see an exit from delivery buyers into these stocks, you see a high volume selling into these names. But right now these stocks are just going through a natural flow of low volumes price correction. I believe that a major bottom generally gets formed when you see a high volume price correction coming into these stocks. Maybe that could be another couple of months down the line. So I think one should wait out for better price points, better opportunities to try and bottom fish these names.
Okay, wait for better opportunities. On that note, Daljit, we let you go. Thanks so much for making time and speaking with us. And
there comes a time when your heart calls for you to arise. Plant your feet solid into the ground. Decide your own limits. And then break right through them. Become something more. It's my time to rise.